For CBSI Services Talking Business. We're today at Manhattan College in Riverdale, New York. Have a chance to chat with the Dean of the Business School, and that is Don Gibson. And Professor, great to be here at Manhattan.
Thanks, Ken.
Tell us a little bit about the program. You have a comprehensive program, both undergraduate and graduate school. What are some of the key majors and topics that you work students have a chance to study here at Manhattan?
Sure. We have about 850 undergraduates here and around 100 graduate students. And at the undergraduate level, 6 majors ranging the breadth of business. So accounting, business analytics, computer and information systems, to finance, economics, management and marketing. And then we have a terrific interdisciplinary global business studies major, co-major, where you have a disciplinary major and then combine that with an emphasis on global, and also take classes across campus. So I think that gives us quite a breadth there. I mean, given our proximity to New York City, finance is critical for us, certainly both accounting and finance, but marketing connections in terms of the fashion industry are critical. And we have terrific expertise in business analytics. And then within management and marketing, an emphasis on negotiation and leadership development. So very strong across all the majors.
Well, you mentioned business analytics and analyzing data. We hear that's a big topic for us in the banking industry with CBSI and our clients. All of the information being produced daily by the internet, the billions of pieces of data, trying to go through that, find out what's relevant to your company. What are some of the ways that your students study and do projects about how to work with data and this whole big data environment that we're in?
Absolutely. What we're finding is business analytics is critical in many areas. Finance, certainly, as you noted, but marketing as well. Accounting is going very much into business analytics. So our professors work with students to make sure they have the fundamentals of the computer languages that help you access big data, like Python and R. We use Tableau, so we make sure they have the tools, and then the approach is to present problems to students. We have a business analytics competition. It's actually coming up in a couple of weeks, where we invite student teams from across the nation to compete they are given a huge pile of data, if you will, a collection of big data, and this time on energy usage in New York City. And then the teams analyze that data and compete on how effective they are in answering questions based on the data. So this is a place where we are really known in the field for those kinds of skills.
Well, a key skill, and you've got a lot of new classrooms here, smart classrooms, and a finance lab. Tell us a little bit about the student space here, some of the special capabilities they can take advantage of.
Yeah, and this is, as a business school, it's critical for us to have the technology that compares. When students go out into corporations, they need to have seen latest technology. So yes, in terms of the trading classroom, we have Bloomberg terminals, which are used widely on Wall Street and elsewhere. So students can get certified in Bloomberg. We have also access to databases that students use to be up to the second on those trends. We also have a collaborative learning space that has video screens around the room and is designed for team collaboration and learning. And we actually got inspiration for this room from a tour at Google, where they showed us their workspaces, and we emulated some of the aspects of Google in that room. And it's to maximize flexibility. This is not, in business schools now, it's not a stand at the front of the room and just lecture. It is very much team involvement. So the room needs to reflect and support that.
Well, I've been in some of Google rooms down in New York City, and they are different. It's a whole different work environment today. As you said, based around flexibility and being able to access terminals and collaboration. I guess one of the things that we're doing a lot on, and we see happening, is artificial intelligence. We're using it at CBSI to be able to find data for our clients, banks that need to hear comments from customers, for example. But in every walk of business now, artificial intelligence is being used to find data, analyze data. What are some of the ways that you're teaching your students on how to utilize artificial intelligence?
Yeah, that comes out of actually our interest in analytics, and so there's a combination of business professors working with engineering and with the math department on developing more artificial intelligence approaches. Machine learning is related,
Sure.
as you know, and so two of our professors are working on integrating that into our curriculum. We're also doing more in terms of blockchain because that's become, accounting as a profession is going to be different in the future, and one element of that will be blockchain that can help prevent fraud.
Yeah.
Transactions can follow, the history of a transaction can follow it, so there's some very interesting work going on in that area. One of our accounting professors is working in depth on that.
Well, that is another capability, and blockchain is being talked about at all sorts of meetings that we're at in the city on banking and marketing communications. I guess one of the things that you mentioned you have a degree program in is organizational leadership, and today organizations are working in different ways than they were certainly when I got out of business school in the 1980s. What are some of the things that you work with students on in organizational leadership?
Yeah, and that's, we have a group that teaches, there's a Masters of Organizational Leadership through our continuing education group, and then here we have an organizations, markets, and sustainability concentration within our MBA. So what you're seeing with an MBA, that's a general category of education, as you know, and the emphasis there is using concentrations to help people have line of sight. People are looking for ways to use their degree for more specific ends, and so one of those is on organizations and leadership. And I'd say in that area, it's learning how to leverage relationships. It's understanding that, you can have the best technology in the world, and we just talked about that, but without interpersonal skills and being able to inspire people, that technology is not going to get your organization where it needs to be. So what we try to, and we've been talking a little bit here more about the sort of hard skills, more quantitative. We emphasize a balance of soft skill, what are often called soft skills, and these harder skills. And the soft skills of influence, of leadership, of developing people, and their human capacities, those are extremely important. So we try to have a balance of both of those.
When we visited your engineering department a couple of weeks ago, one of the professors said just that the key for an engineer is to be able to explain his project to the public, to an investor, or to a public board who has to approve and that project to move forward. Question I ask educators now in business is, how do we keep up? Those of us who graduated from business school decades ago, and before we had the internet, before we even had cell phones, so much technology, barcodes came out. I always say what an innovation barcodes have been in tracking shipments. What are the ways that executives, managers, business people can keep up with and learn how to use and apply the new technology?
Yeah, I think this is actually, there's been a bit of a renaissance actually in availability of education for all. And certainly now, speaking as dean of a business school, I'd love for you to come back and get into our MBA program, concentrate in specific areas, and we're developing, like many schools, more specific Master of Science degrees. So we're looking at real estate, for example, as a terrific opportunity for us in New York City. We're looking at a quantitative finance class as another Master of Science degree. But there are increasingly more bite-sized chunks, if you will. People are looking for shorter, targeted programs. So we'll be also working on certificate programs, packages of 4 to 5 classes, digital marketing, artificial intelligence, et cetera. So I think actually if I'm an executive, there's a lot of availability online, but then you also want to get involved, I'd recommend, with what we call on-ground or person-to-person kinds of education as well. Because I think we'd agree the experience online is one thing, and you can gain a lot of sort of technical experience, but the relationships you build and the context you get from an on-the-ground experience with an excellent professor, it's hard to replicate that.
Absolutely. That's why we go to trade conferences quite often. We'll be down at the Card Forum in a couple of weeks talking with people at banks and processors and so on. Nothing like it. Meeting contacts, people you can get back to. Now, you've had some exciting news here at Manhattan College. You renamed the business school last fall, for Mr. Thomas O'Malley, a '63 graduate of Manhattan, and was very successful in the oil and the energy business. Tell us a little bit about the impact of that donation by Mr. O'Malley.
Absolutely, and I think business schools need to reflect what's going on in business, and having this kind of gift helps to put us on the map in terms of connecting to the business community. These funds will be a long-term investment in the school, so they will go towards student scholarships to enhance and make sure students have an opportunities to get into Manhattan College. And this college is terrific in that we have over 35% of first-generation students, and they often need help to get in.
Yeah.
And so scholarships are a key part of that, but also enhancing our programs in terms of bringing in world-class faculty, enhancing new graduate degrees, as I talked about. So it really helps us to stay competitive in the very competitive world of business schools, but also to leverage us ahead and really be able to emphasize both this kind of small in-class intimacy we have, but we're in the world-class city of New York. So this gift really helps us to push us forward on that front.
Well, it's a tremendous donation to Manhattan College. It'll be very beneficial to the school and your students. Tell me a little bit about, I always like to ask my guests a little bit about how they got to where they are today. What have been some of the steps along your path in education?
Sure, and it's a bit of a circuitous path, but I was in the entertainment industry. I started out in Los Angeles working on Dallas, Falcon Crest, Knots Landing. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, I remember Dallas, certainly. That was a famous show.
But then went back and got my MBA, and then later a PhD at UCLA, and then taught at the Yale School of Management for 6 years, and then was a professor and dean and then vice provost at Fairfield University, and then have arrived at Manhattan College. My background is in management, so I teach management leadership teams. Sure. Along the lines of what we talked about, and I think those are themes. I think looking for ways that organizations can be more effective for people and can enhance the productivity of people. That's what I investigate, and so I'm always looking for the next question, the next problem to solve, and yeah.
Well, Dean Gibson, if you would maybe just close by telling our audience how they can find out more information about the business opportunities here at Manhattan College.
Absolutely. I mean, certainly check out our website, Manhattan.edu, but reach out to us. Let us know if you have a question, if you'd like to meet one of us. Check out the website, look us up, and visit campus. Come and say hello. I think we are a community here. We are in the big city, but we're also have a community flavor. So I'd really urge you to check out that combination of strong, cutting-edge business skills combined with a strong liberal arts experience as well. So yes, come on down.
Well, it's great to visit. I've had a lot of friends and family who have attended Manhattan College through the years. Great engineering program. You're building a terrific business school, and it's always fun to come over here for basketball games in the wintertime. Dean Donald Gibson from the Manhattan College School of Business, great to visit with you, and great to hear about all the exciting things you have going on here at Manhattan College.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ken. I appreciate it.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
This is Ken Kraetzer for CBSI Services, talking business today in Riverdale, New York.